So next up, we're going to go into our print check screen. So I'm going to hit my drop down, go to Accounts Payable, and then we're going to go to Print Checks. When I get in here, then I am going to select a check style of pre-printed checks because that is what I am using for my bank account. If you're using Micker, then leave it at Micker. And you do have to choose your checking account. I'm going to choose ET Checking because that's where I'm printing my checks out of. And then I'm going to down here select which checks I want to print. So let me select my Bath Electric and one or two other ones. My check number is going to default in from the check number I put on my checking account. And then this updates, it keeps a running tally as you're printing more checks. Check stub details and vendor stub details just gives you additional coding on a check. So it includes, the account department location. And let me turn that on here for just one of these so that I can show you when I print the check what that looks like. But it's not incredibly useful. Most people wouldn't want to send that out. And then you can put in a check memo if you wish. So once you've selected the checks that you want to print, you're going to just hit the print button and then it's going to give you a pop-up to show you what they look like. And then obviously at this point, you would want to make sure that you have the checks in the printer to print out. So here's my Bath Electric and XYZ because this was my joint payee. And then it's showing me whatever details there. And then on the third one, I believe this is where I selected to show me additional information. So I wanted it to show me the GL account, the location and department. So it's showing me the GL account, location and department associated with each one of those bills. So that's just that additional coding that you can put in, but most people don't want to see that. They just want to see, the bill number, the date, and that's kind of enough for them. So once this pop-up comes up, then you would hit print and then you have your checks printed. So then once you've printed them, you do have to confirm them, or they just kind of stay here in limbo. So you could void them out at this point if you needed to void them, if you knew immediately that there was a mistake and you needed to void it. Otherwise, you would just confirm it and it just confirms those checks and takes them out of the screen then. So then if you go to Accounts Payable and Posted Payments, you'll see those actual posted payments. So like my Bath Electric, XYZ, and Dutchess County and Pacific Petroleum are the ones that I just did. And you can actually void from here. So let's say you had made a mistake on one of those, you could void it out. So on Pacific Petroleum, if I hit void, it gives me the option to just void that out of the system. You just have to put in the date. And then if there were bills, so let's say for Bath Electric, you can also decide to reverse that bill out of the system at the same time as you're voiding the check. So you would put in the date that you're voiding it on, and then if you wanted to reverse those bills, also you could select them and submit. But you do not have to reverse out the bills. If there was no issue with the bills, it was just the payment, you would just leave them unchecked, do not reverse the bills out, and just void the payment and hit submit. And then if we go back to our bills screen now, I have Bath Electric paid. So if I click edit on that, I see my reclassify button here. So I can choose to reclassify that bill and I can change some of the coding. Let's say you would hit the wrong GL account on that or something, then that can be done. So if I wanted to switch this and do cost of sales other or something, I could reclassify that bill and post, and that will reclassify it for me. And then one other thing that I wanted to show you was just manual payment in the Accounts Payable module is the same as manual payment within cash management. So if I click into this, then this is just a way for me to do a manual payment out of the system if there were no bill. If there's no bill for me to pay out, but I need to write a check or make a payment, I would do manual payments. So anything with the red asterisk is required here. You can decide which payment method you want to do. And then, put in your coding, whatever way it makes sense. But you do have to have a vendor in the system to do a manual payment. So you can do another receipt. You can actually receive money in the system without a customer. But for manual payment, you do have to have a vendor in the system. So that is your printing checks, showing you your post-payment screen, how to void out and doing reclassifications.